This video shows a new feature Virtuoso has released, which is around step event tracking to show network and console logs for every single step in the journey. So previously, if there were a step failure, you could click on the step and access the root cause analysis, which showed you a rendering of the page source at the time the test was run, the page network requests, and the page console logs. And note that those weren't necessarily specific to the actual step, they were for the page at the time that test step failed. Now, what you didn't have insights to was for other steps that had passed, there was no means to be able to look at things like network requests or console logs, which we understand, of course, is important to have visibility and traceability of those through executions to help testers or developers better understand what happened behind the scenes when the app was running, even for test steps that had passed. So what we have introduced now for every single step, if we click on those for an execution, is an events tab, which shows us network requests and console logs, which are specific to each of these steps. So if I click through this, for instance, on the login step, I can see that there are 28 requests and I can filter through these. So for example, I could see if there were any server errors, client errors, redirects, I can filter through. And also I get to see the console logs, which I can drill into. And again, I could filter through, let's say, if there are warnings. So even if I saw that there was a failure at this point, I could actually drill back and look through all of the events. Even for the failed step, I get the events, which again, these events, the network requests and logs are specific to the step. We still show the root cause analysis, which has the page source, page network, and page console logs, which again, that is for the full page at the time, so it's richer detail. So basically what we're solving here is to provide better runtime visibility, help with debugging and identify root cause analysis of test behavior, and we will be building further on this with additional capabilities. And so effectively, this capability offers not just the immediate test insights into functional UI integration and end-to-end testing with the steps and step result, but also the screenshots. This also now helps offer further value to developers to debug by giving access to the events. A key thing to note here, this only works on the Virtuoso Chrome browser, and the reason for this, rather than working on Virtuoso's cross-browser compatibility, which is passed through grids, is that when these tests are run, they rely on Virtuoso having access into the DevTools, which is only available through Virtuoso's Chrome browser. So you can only see this where the tests were executed on the standard Virtuoso Chrome browser. If you run on cross-browser, then you would not see the network events available. If for any reason you want to turn this off, you can go into the goal settings, then under browser, you could switch off the network and browser console event logs if for any reason you don't want to capture this information. And note as well that because Virtuoso fully versions all the tests, then these are stored on each execution. So we can see if they are specific to the execution details and will be held along with things like the screenshot steps and all details. So that is Virtuoso's new step event tracking for network and console logs to help provide richer insights into execution details.